Okay, welcome everybody. If you haven't already, take your earphones, your headsets, and put them on. That's why you're not hearing me if you're looking at me funny. Okay, welcome to the Tech for Change pitch session. You can grab your headsets at the entrance. How is everybody doing? We're coming towards the end of Change now. How's the energy at the back? How are you doing? Do you need a little jump or dance or anything? Are you okay in the middle too? Okay, we're going to see in this round 4 super quick, short, sharp 3-minute pitches around the issue of technology for social change. My name's Nick. I'll be your moderator for these 4 pitches, and I'm also running a big global community of some of the world's top young social entrepreneurs who are often at the forefront of technology disruption and adoption. So I think also something close to my own heart. How it's going to work, they're going to come on stage, pitch for 180 seconds, and then you will hear a gong when they are finishing the pitch, and I will, in my very British polite way, invite them off the stage and the next person on. We have 2 jury members who will be asking them questions and who will also choose their coup de cœur, the favorite of the pitches, and then also get the chance to network with them afterwards. I'd love to hear from both of you, just in 1, maximum 2 sentences, who you are, and then pass the microphone along, please.
Yeah, my name is Maiko Schaffert. I'm the founder of Impact Hustlers. We're a community for early-stage, impact-driven entrepreneurs. And if you're a founder, talk to me and I'll help you out afterwards. I'm also a scout for Backed VC in London. So.
Cool, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Aida. I work for Startup Bootcamp. I'm strategic partnerships and ecosystem lead. So our focus is really impact-driven startups. Right now, focus on mobility, energy, and financial inclusion. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hear the presentations.
Excellent, thank you, Maiko and Adja. Okay, so we're ready for the first venture. First one, the new generation green IT partner for organizations. I want you to give a big afternoon welcome to Rzilient. Welcome.
Thank you very much for coming to listen to us. I'll be talking to you about a really exciting topic called IT management. So who cares in the audience about managing your fleet? Nobody. It doesn't surprise me much. Still, the digital footprint stands for 4% of the overall green gas effect worldwide. And 80% of this footprint relates to the manufacturing of new laptops, new devices. At the same time, collaborators lose approximately 109 hours because of IT incidents that are not well dealt with. Not saying it costs a lot of money indirectly. When you buy a laptop 1,000 euros, it costs you on average 6,000 euros. The IT value chain is a lot fragmented, so we consolidated it all through a platform to basically being able to manage your fleet more efficiently and, of course, extra financially more efficiently as well. Because IT management is a pragmatic leverage towards sustainable performance. In fact, well, public organizations and big players know it. And, well, the delegation of IT will stand for 270 billion euros in 2026. There's something to be doing there. We've created the first green IT management as a service platform for SMBs to streamline all their IT procedures via one only digital interface. In a sense, we provide eco-responsible laptops and devices made 100% B2B compatible, both in terms of performances and governance. And at the same time, we've created an AI solutions to being able to extend the lifespan of your already existing fleet, helping SMBs save a lot of money, time allocated, of course, a lot of carbon at the same time. We've been working since 1 year and a half with more than 200 companies, some of them scale-ups throughout Europe and in the US, and they are really proud to have made a lot of savings in terms of money, time, and carbon again. Cool thing is, traction is there, so we'll be leveraging our growth step by step in 2022, leveraging a comprehensive, complete IT services. And of course, this AI-based IT management platform will help reactively and tomorrow predictively, not only IT managers, but fleet managers to go towards a more sustainable IT. And that's where we stand, and that's what we'll be doing moving forward. We've shaped the team in that perspective to scale up, and if this topic that appears a little bit boring sometimes looks interesting to you, if you guys are willing to drive your company towards a more sustainable IT, just reach out to me. I'll be pleased to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you didn't make it boring at all. You made it interesting. Come on.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we have an initiative which builds flying wind turbines for half the cost of conventional ones. Fascinated to hear more. Kitekraft, welcome.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm here with Kitekraft. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO. And what we do is really building flying wind turbines, as crazy as that sounds. You already can see our prototype flying here close to Munich. That's where we are based. And it's really what we want to do is cut costs for wind power in half. It's already a cheap technology, but we want to make it even more cheap. And by that, drastically increase the speed in which we can deploy wind power globally. Where we are right now, so we are pre-revenue. We have a prototype flying already. As I mentioned, we have 270 million US dollars in LOIs combined from various types of customers, from the smallest ones that we address, that could be farmers, to the largest ones that could be utilities or renewable project developers. And we also have a pilot contract for a first 100 kilowatt system. So this is how this looks like a little bit more in detail. It's basically a winged multicopter. So you can picture a big wing that you can see here with 8 rotors. The whole thing is tethered to a ground station. And what we do is we use those 8 rotors to bring the system in the air, just like a drone. Once it's in the air, we use the aerodynamics of the wing to keep the system up. And while there, we fly in figure 8s. And by that, we can then use those small rotors on board to actually produce the energy, send it down through the tether to the grid, store it locally, whatever the use case is at the specific location. Why does that make sense? Well, it's the most efficient energy technology that we can think of, at least, because we really reduce the amount of materials that we actually need for wind power. So if we combine it here on the right side with conventional wind power, it's a factor of 10 that we reduce the materials. And it's not only that drives down the cost, obviously, makes it much cheaper to ship, to produce, to set up, maintain, because everything can be done on the ground. But it's also a very visible thing that you can see, because we replace the whole turbine, the whole rotors, towers with this very tiny system with this tether. And by that, we work against a lot of the objections that wind power, especially here in Europe, faces in terms of the public opposition or regulatory constraints that you have. In Bavaria, where we are located, for example, there's the 10H rule. That means you can't build a wind turbine somewhere where it's 10 times the height away from a building where somebody lives. So that's a big issue for us, at least in our vicinity. Yeah, we're working in the wind power market. This is already a huge market, 111 billion US dollars a year. It's growing fast, and I mean, everybody here, I think, will agree that we need much more renewables. We need to 8x that at least. So in terms of the steps that we're taking, 100 kilowatt to 500 kilowatt, 3 megawatts, that's the steps. First targeting niche cases, self-sufficiency of farmers, and then going to microgrids, then going to the utility scale. That's the plan. That's the team. We're based in Munich, supported by Y Combinator. We're now in the Respond Accelerator program. Yeah. Happy to meet everybody here. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need energy, let's talk.
Thank you. Super impressive. Flying wind turbines. Okay, thanks. So, 2 more solutions in this round. Next one, reinventing access to water. I'd love to invite to the stage myWater Technologies. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to showcase our solutions. So first of all, what we're trying to do today is to provide a solution, safe, smart, and sustainable access to water. We don't want this solution to be elitist, quite the contrary. We also have integrated way in our business model to be able to redistribute some of our proceeds for countries that have problems with access to water. and using this specific technology to be able to give clean water to the largest amount of people. So it's a combination of nanofiltration technology that allows us to remove endocrine disruptors, microplastics, all pharmaceutical traces, basically anything that the filtration systems that are in place right now are not filtering out. So if we look at it, there's 1 out of 2 consumers today that is not is reluctant, let's say, to drink network water on a daily basis. So in order to leverage the trust of that 1 out of 2 consumer, our technology really allows to bring the greatest quality water forward. On the flip side, we also have IoT embedded in our fountains. So this allows for a lot of data to be extracted from the point of use. So more importantly, volumetrics, but also the amount of carbon footprint that is actually reduced by point of delivery. So this really allows for companies, for collectivities, cities in general, to really have an idea of the impact that it will have. Also, our design is completely patented and contactless. This allows for a very safe usage. We just went through quite an important pandemic, and this is one of the biggest factors for us. Also, the distribution nozzle is completely encased, so this prevents cross-contamination as well. Because most of the fountains that you'll find on the market today, you can touch the distribution nozzle, again, hindering the amount of trust that the final consumer has in the product. Nanofiltration has a lot of benefits. It avoids any addition of chemicals. There's no backwash. It's very efficient, and it works with very little power. It can be completely self-sustained by a small solar panel. So you don't even need an electric connection for it to function. We can work with rainwater, even seawater with a pre-filtration system. Basically, this allows for anyone or anywhere to implement a fully complete offer for sustainable access to water. So this is our a couple of numbers that we had from last year. So basically, we managed to reduce with 3 fountains the amount of plastic bottles by 200,000, 28 tons of CO2, and 7 million microparticles of plastic. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks a lot. No, spot on. Okay, cool. So last solution in this round, climate tech company transforming plastic waste. Welcome, Rzilient. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Patrick Casey. I'm the Director of Finance at Rzilient. We tackle unrecyclable plastic waste and convert it into building materials. Our first product is called Smart Gravel. It comes in 3 different gradient sizes, and it can be applied to concrete, asphalt. It can even be built in roadways. It can be built in drainage. So essentially, wherever you use aggregate or rock, you could use our product as a full replacement. So think of it as tapping into landfills versus tapping into mines and mining the earth. In addition to that, we've also started interjecting this product into plastic injection molding. So now taking unrecyclable plastics and putting them back into plastics. Now, part of this is, why are we focusing on the unrecyclable plastics? Simple. Right now, things that are single-use, multi-layered, degraded, all end up in landfills. In some cases, they're used in energy conversion, but still, there's tons and tons of material entering landfills on a daily basis. And that's in the developing world. In non-developing or developing nations, there's still a massive issue with infrastructure problem. One, on the end of where the plastic is generated and how it's used and consumed afterwards, what do we do with it? On the other end is supply for building materials. Our solution, as you can see behind us, is an actual live-scale facility. We have 2 facilities, one in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the other one in Los Angeles, California. The one in Buenos Aires, Argentina was launched in 2018. It was our pilot facility that allowed us to prove our product, and build our facilities and production line accordingly. The one in Los Angeles has a production capability of 1,500 tons a month of conversion, and it's a 1-for-1 solution. So 1 ton of plastic in, 1 ton of product out. And we're being used across the world in different areas. Our main concept is to be locally sourced and locally produced. So what does that mean? putting these facilities near major cities that A, have a large amount of waste being developed or produced, and the other end of that was a large amount of infrastructure projects available. What you see behind is actually a lot of plastic, and unfortunately some of this looks very clean, right? Unfortunately, every single bit of it would go to landfill. The moment it comes out and it's multi-layered, it's impossible to recycle. Why? Because resin types are combined. Once resin types are combined, it makes it impossible for modern technology. Modern technology separates resin types, and unfortunately, they don't do that. What we do is different. It's homogeneous pellets, and what we don't care about at the end of the day is the look of the product because it's a rock. It gets embedded into products. And what you see right here is our process from source to labor. And what else? Oh, well, simple enough. We're backed by CEMEX. We've fundraised already. We've done a seed, a Series A. We're currently crowdfunding via WeFunder. So if you type in WeFunder/ArcLight, you will find more about our story. And we are always looking for partnerships and expanding our opportunities going forward. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so stay where you are, please. And we're going to invite the other 3 ventures back to the stage as well. Come with your headsets. You'll need them. Okay, and then I'm going to ask the jury members one short, sharp question to each initiative, please.
Okay, first of all, all of those were super impressive. I have one question for the Kitekraft. Which is, who are your competitors and how do you, because there is one, do you know Makani, which is the one from Google? Okay, how is your technology different from them?
Yeah, Makani is discontinued by now, so they ceased operations. They are actually the most similar ones to our technology, but with very key differences. The main fault that they basically had on the technical side, what was crashing their kites like for 7-8 years, was basically a question of how you place rotors in terms of the wing. This is where we have this double-decker 2-wing structure with rotors placed in front. This allows or gives us more control over the whole system, which is really the key issue here. And then on the other hand, it's more a question of approach that you take to developing this technology. What they did, much pushed by Google as a big backer, to go as big as you can, as fast as you can, but that obviously does not work for such a new technology where still so much needs to be proven out. So that's why we much more go for smaller systems that we can deploy faster and really start getting the experience, because you need all that if you want to have infrastructure in the internet that works for 20 years. So it's really about starting smaller and then growing from there rather than going big as soon as you can.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll have a question for you as well. You talked about some regulations for wind turbines in Bavaria, for example. Mm-hmm. What can you tell us about the perception from locals of having this flying thing there and the risk perception of that as well? Like, do you already face some oppositions from people on that? What's the risk of you actually being able to implement that?
Yeah, yeah.
Can we just take that one super quickly and then just one to each venture after that, please?
Yeah. For now, people are mostly curious, to be honest. That's what they are now. We have been in touch with local authorities as well. So especially where it's much more regulated, as in Bavaria, people actually see it as an option in comparison to your conventional wind turbine. That's the main view blocking issue they see.
Okay, my second question would be for myWater. How did you decide where to start? Because one of the countries is Slovenia. I'm Slovenian myself. That's why it was super impressive. We're 2 million people, so nobody really starts with Slovenia. How did you decide based on
well,
what?
Basically, it originated from our co-founder, Robert, and his son. So they both engineers and conceptualized this solution. However, the market was quite hard to penetrate, and that's where I joined the team. And we chose to continue our development in France, as there's quite some engagement, well, as you can see today, around durability, and more specifically the AJAC law that's been voted in 2020 that has been slowly but surely removing all single-use plastics, and by 2024 rendering single-use plastic bottles completely illegal. So that's where the market opportunity lies for us today, and that's where we'd like to expand from.
That's great, thank you.
I got one for Rzilient. First of all, what's your main point of differentiation beyond the green IT? Is that the main point? And how do you imagine to integrate with existing solutions, or are you trying to compete?
We already are distributing our services indirectly with back market, for example. They sell the hardware, we plug our services onto it. And our main differentiating, let's say, USPs relate to the predictive solution we've been building to link potential future incidents to the operators that will basically provide you as an SMB the solution that will have financial and extra financial takeouts or positive takeouts there.
Thank you.
Final question for ArcLight, then, please.
Yeah. Okay, I got one for ArcLight as well. What's, again, the main industry you're selling to? It seems like there's so many use cases. And maybe quick one on that. Are you worried about microplastics being released from your materials?
So that's a common question, microplastics. What we've done is tons of leachate testing on it. And essentially when you have a plastic film and it's exposed to UV and it's a thin material, it's going to break down. What we've done is compressed it 100 times over. So we've taken the surface area from where it was to incredibly small amounts. So we've tested it and it's tangibly out there. You can find the leachate testing. We made it available, making it really transparent. We're very much for that. And yes, that is the biggest challenge we have. We've built a commodity and everybody keeps on asking, can we use it for this? And as a startup, we're like, yes, go for it. And then we find out immediately, hey, it works. And then we're like, oh, snap. We have to learn about a whole new industry. It happened with hydroponics. And it's happened with concrete. So we first started off with the vision of we have a large amount of plastic waste. What's an industry and what's a material that can be a great fit for it? Well, concrete. It's the most widely reused, construction material. Let's go with that. And then as we've gone down our evolution, each player comes in with a new challenge for us. And most recently is the plastic injection molding. One company had issue getting virgin material. They asked us, can we use your material? We told them, sure, go ahead, give it a try. And now, well, we're testing with UK laboratories and laboratories across the States on what percentage of the material that we can provide, and it's homogeneous, can blend with any other material. So it is a big challenge.
Thanks.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. So thanks for some super sharp questions. Thanks for 4 great pitches. Thank you for watching. We're going to invite you all over to the networking area, and you'll be asked to choose your coup de coeur. And then everyone else we have coming up next at 4 o'clock, food and agriculture pitches. But thank you, everyone. That concludes this round. Thank you.